Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hi, my name is Sky, yes, double Y, and welcome to my channel, Sky Explains It All. Or, if you've already been here before, welcome back. So for today's video, guys, I want to talk about my experience seeing Maxine that came out this year. I just saw it on Saturday, and today is the 18th. And this is just going to be me talking about like the vibes I felt watching this movie. So Maxine takes place in the 80s. So some years after the events that happened in X happened. And it's following the life of Maxine because she wants to be, you know, like a super mega movie star. And watching this movie, I'm going to be real, I didn't feel like I was watching a horror movie. It felt more like a crime drama for me personally, because there were moments where I completely forgot that this is a horror movie because I'm watching it and then something would happen and I was like, oh yeah, this is a horror movie, right? That makes sense for that to be in here. But I, a lot of the time, kept forgetting I was watching a horror movie. Now, is that a bad thing? No. Is what I was expecting? Also, no. It definitely was not what I was expecting. And it felt, out of the three movies altogether now, so with X and then Pearl felt like a horror movie, X felt like a horror movie. X gave me the energy of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a little gritty, more like a slasher kind of 70s film. And then Pearl felt like a Panavision, Technicolor sort of vibe, very Wizard of Oz, but make it spooky. And I feel like it worked. And in this installment of the final trilogy with Maxine, I thought because it takes place in the 80s, they were going to go for like that kind of campy 80s slasher film type of vibe, which there are definitely moments of their like being their campiness, like Giancarlo Esposito's character, like with the hair, is a little campy. Even Maxine's friend in the movie who works at the video store, you know, has like a little campiness vibe to him. But generally this movie felt like a crime drama from the 80s, which maybe that's the vibe they were intending on going for. It's just not what I was anticipating because it's a horror movie. I'm thinking they're going to go for like that 80s slasher vibe, but I didn't really get that. And that doesn't make it bad. It just makes the experience I had different than from what I was expecting, because when I watched it, I was like, oh, so this is what this is. Okay. And it doesn't make it bad. It's just I had different expectations. Didn't look at really any reviews because I didn't want anything to compromise my thoughts before I put out this video. I actually plan on seeing Maxine again now that I understand the kind of vibe that it has and not the vibe that I thought it was going to have, and I think I might enjoy it a little more. But by no means do I think it's a bad movie. I just feel like the tone is completely different from the first two. And like I said, not a bad thing, it's just different. And I feel like they've set us in this mode of like horror that this shift to a different kind of tone may have thrown audiences off, like myself. But like, again, like I said, by no means is it bad. Mia Goth, we already know, is a phenomenal talent, and I will forever feel a way that Miss Ma'am was snubbed from her Oscar nomination for her performance in Pearl. For the movie, I liked little Easter eggs that were in there. There were some references to Pearl that I saw, some references to X that we saw. I'm not going to give anything away. I just feel like you should go in watching this movie expecting a movie that's more like a crime drama that has some horror elements into it. And I feel like if you go into it with that mindset, you won't really feel disappointed or feel like this movie is bad per se. It's just kind of like, it's kind of like reminds me of, you know, American Horror Story, right? Pretty much every season, American Horror Story, it's like spooky, paranormal, slasher, aliens, that kind of stuff. And then when the season that came out, I think it was season 11 came out, and it focused on the HIV/AIDS epidemic, and people were kind of thrown off because the vibe was different from previous seasons. This is kind of what Maxine feels like. Feels like the vibe is totally different from previous seasons, which doesn't make it bad. It just feels like you've already set up your audience to be expecting one thing, and then they've got something pretty completely different from what we've been expecting. So it kind of throws off the experience of when you first see it because you're not anticipating that. So definitely, I think, give it a watch. And I think seeing this video will help those who haven't seen it yet to be more mentally prepared for what they're going in to go and see. But like I said, I'm definitely going to go see it again to see if my movie experience is a little different, because I now know what I'm getting into. That's all I wanted to come on here and talk about. I put on this little windbreaker jacket because I was trying to go for like a little slight 80s vibe, try to match my outfit with the vibe of things that I'm talking about most of the time. But the 80s is not my decade when it comes for fashion inspiration. Maybe like in the 2000s, 2010s, and like my scene kit days.
Oh my god, I miss you so much. How you been? Well, we should hang out sometime. MySpace me for sure.
But I didn't even technically like my jacket, like it is mine, but I didn't buy it. My dad gave this to me. So I popped this on to, you know, give my little Maxine nod. I wasn't intending on making a video about it, but I feel like this could potentially help people who really like X and Pearl, who may have seen reviews of the movie Maxine and felt like wary of seeing it. I kind of wanted to make this to like let y'all know what the movie kind of has the vibe of, and let that be your deciding factor if you see it or not. I saw the Rotten Tomatoes like score on Google, and it's not the best, but it's not the worst. And I was like, oh, people must not be feeling this movie like that. So yes, those are my thoughts on Maxine without any spoilers. So if you like this video, like it. If you're enjoying the content I make here, please subscribe. I'd very much so love to have you here. And you guys leave me a comment letting me know, did you see Maxine? And if you did you like it? Did you dislike it? Or were you just kind of thrown off the general tone that the movie was set compared to X and Pearl? Let me know. I'm sorry guys, I looked at the window, something just like whacked into my window. But anyway, leave it down in the comments below. And please don't leave below any spoilers for people who haven't seen it yet. This is a spoiler-free video, so please be mindful of that and considerate of your fellow YouTube watchers. Thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, I have to return some videotapes. Bye guys.